Oh shit, we're
Desus and Mero, I love your show on FX. On what do I say? FX, Viceland. I've done so many FX.
Put some respect on our name.
we are gonna
trying to give
Sons of Anarchy spoiler. Leaked it.
So
only go with the alt-right gang, though. I don't want to tell you which one, but my cover gets blown pretty early.
Oh, I think we'll all be pleasantly surprised. So I wondered, where did your partnership start? Where did that all start?
Officially, like as like the Bodega Boys
at Complex.
At Complex, yeah.
That was officially the first time. That was like the first time we were like in the same room together. But before that, we had been on Twitter interacting with each other. But not until our first show, Desus versus Mero on Complex, the digital only show. That was our first time working together on camera, and that would be like that's probably where we first started. Yeah. That's the origin story.
Yeah, for sure.
But before that, we knew of each other running around the streets of the Bronx and from was it junior high school?
Summer
school. Long time ago.
Shout out to Lehman.
Who knew that we always figured we'd reunite. We thought it would be in jail, but apparently it's on late night TV. So
here we are.
Look how it worked out.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now, I could be in the day room trying to stab you.
It'd be awkward because I'd be in the like the Spanish-speaking gang. You'd be in like the Jamaican gang.
See, I don't know if I'd be in the Jamaican gang or the Black American gang.
You know what I'm saying?
Depends on the day of the week.
Yeah, you know.
But
either way, you have a machete under his bed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and that's when you started doing comedy together.
Yeah, it was a podcast, and then the podcast. It was kind of like they did it on a lark. Like these guys are funny on Twitter. Together, they have a good chemistry. Let's put them. Let's put this podcast out. And the podcast became so popular, they wanted to do a video component. Mm-hmm. And then the video component ended up being the whole show. You know what I mean? They would do the podcast was popular, but the video show was just kind of like, oh. And it became its own thing. And then MTV came out after that.
What's funny about that, the podcast started an audio-only podcast, and it only lasted about 7 episodes before they were just like, yo, we're going to do a digital TV show with this. Yeah. And we had never done a digital show. Complex had never done a digital show. And just the response from it was just like, yo, there's something here.
We didn't even know they were going to do it. We saw people were hitting us up. Hey guys, I heard you guys are coming out with a cool digital show for Complex. We were like, what?
They announced the variety before they told us. So I woke up with all these text messages. People were like, congrats on your show. What show? I'm broke. I gotta go to work today. What are you talking about?
What do you mean on the train? Showtime.
Someone's getting that money from me.
Mm-hmm. People's like, yo, let me hold 100. I was like, no, let me hold 100. I really need it. Like I'm 3 months behind on my rent.
So how did the show with Viceland? How did that come about?
Well, after we were on MTV2, and shout out to MTV2. Like Mero always says, that was kind of like junior college for us. That was just getting us kind of acclimated to television and training. But we brought back, we went back to our original roots, the podcast, and we started Bodega Boys. Launched our shout out to Red Bull Studios. We launched Bodega Boys, and one of the biggest fans of the podcast was Eric Reinholm and Nick Weidenfeld, and they came together and they were like, "Listen, what you guys have, we want to make a TV show based directly off of your podcast. We don't want to get in the way of it because usually TV networks come in and they're like, we're going to mold what you are to fit us." And they was like, yo, we're Viceland, we're experimental. We want to make exactly what we don't change anything about it. So that's why like even little things like the set on the show is like completely irrelevant. We could do the show anywhere because you're not coming to this. Well, some of y'all might come to see a dead bear. That's on you. But for the most part, people are coming for the jokes and the camaraderie and stuff. So, that's how we got this Viceland thing. And shout out to Spike Jones, who gave us the wild gassing.
Wow, yeah, he was like, yo, it's funny because when we first started, it's like, yo, Bodega Boys, Bronx, whatever. So we sat down, we had meetings. We were like, hey, what about the set? What's the set gonna look like? Oh, let's make it look like a bodega. We'll have a counter. We'll have roll down gates. We'll have graffiti. And Spike Jones was like, no. You are the graffiti. You are the art. I was like, whoa! Well, my head like did a mushroom cloud. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this is Spike Jones. I was like, you did the Beastie Boys Sabotage video. You're a genius. You did that movie where Joaquin Phoenix had sex with his computer.
And he won an Oscar for it.
He got an Oscar for it. And he's all humble. He's like, it's true.
It's true. Yeah, I did. Yeah. He's just like on FaceTiming with Amy Adams, like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, all right. Regular.
Just at his house. Yeah. And the way I have like random garbage in my house, he just has like Oscars and shit.
This is my Oscar. Yeah, you can ask your
hang your coat on it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's funny because like Spike Jones is one of those people that I always wanted to win an Oscar, but I never thought he actually would. And so that was so cool. But I love that he was like a huge backer of this.
He's a huge fan. He always sends he'll send us an email after a show. Like, I love this episode. I love when you did this so part. Like, it's great. And then you look on you like get a notification like, bling. It's like from Spike Jonze. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's still very exciting. And then to see people like Spike Jonze once said to us, he was like, I don't get a lot of the references of your show, but I still enjoy the show anyway, and it makes me want to stick with it and figure it out. And I feel like a lot of people who did not know about us before Viceland kind of experienced the show that way. Yeah. And the show pays off. The more energy you put into the show, the more you get out of it with the jokes and the references and things. And that's why I think the fans really, really love it. I have never found someone who's like, I kind of like the show. Everyone's like really rabid about it. Like, yo, I love the show.
That works. You're a human male.
I never said I wouldn't. Whatever for ratings.
So I'm wondering, at what point did you know that this show had blown up to another level? I'm wondering. I'm always curious as to when people realize that.
Like last week when Whoopi Goldberg was on here, it was like, you guys are keeping me relevant. I was like, are you fucking kidding? I was like, you're Whoopi Goldberg. You were in 2 Sister Acts and you were in Ghost, and you're telling us that we're keeping you relevant. You're a legend. She's one of those people that's like Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? That's just like, yo, you're not even an actor. You're just like you're just like an American thing, icon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just I can't even explain it. It's Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? She goes by one name. You know what I mean? Whoopi.
Yeah, she's Whoopi.
It's Whoopi. You know what I mean? And then she was saying like, yo, this is dope. And then Pharrell, when we did Pharrell's other tone show with him and Scott Venner, shout out to them, Pharrell was like, you guys are brilliant. And then like even Pharrell tone, just like, you guys are brilliant.
What's because we're like, you know,
you feel me? Like,
we're still relatively humble Bronx guys. Yeah, but now it's like there's a difference of when you walk into a room and you're like, yo, it's such and such. And then like you're like, yo, let's go ask him for a picture. And now those people come over to us and like, yo, I watch your show every night. Well, Pharrell's like, listen, every night I watch your show. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
You're Pharrell. To Paris to buy glasses.
I'm like, sir, you have an $860,000 sunglass holder. Why are you watching my show?
Are you kidding me?
Like, you could buy my whole life with the lint in your pockets. Like, why do you even know who I am? But it's cool, and we haven't got to that point of being gassed yet. Like, we still get excited when people are excited to come on our show. We're like, yo, thanks for coming on our show. What? And they're like, yo, thanks for having me on. I'm like, whoa.
Bro, I'll never, like, I was sitting in we had Cece's Badia on, and he was like, yo, I'm a huge fan of the show. I watch it all the time, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, yo, let me get you guys' numbers. Now he'll just like text me, yo, this episode is mad funny. Like, I'm like,
what?
I'm like, bro, I watched you in 2009. Like, you're a New York hero.
Yo, wait, what happened?
What
happened in 2000?
We won the World Series.
Right, 27 rings. Count them, bro.
That's right.
Count them.
Talk to him.
So I love that Whoopi Goldberg episode. It was so great because I loved seeing how there were when she said that about you that you made her relevant. Like, there was this look in your eyes, like, oh my God, I can't believe that this person just said that about me.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, I mean, every now and then you'll get a celebrity and they're like, yeah, I watched the show. You could tell she genuinely watches the show, enjoys it. And also, she's such a good person. She has like a quality of like an auntie.
Yeah.
And she had a positive energy in that she wants well for us. And she was she was telling us stuff we need to know to go further in the industry. So when you reach a person like that, Whoopi does not have to give us advice.
No way.
She's at a point in
she
her
could have
life.
She could have came in, did the thing, and get out of here. Yeah.
But she actually was like very endearing and caring, and like it opened her up and opened us up. I think that might have been one of our best episodes.
Mm-hmm. I did a Ted Danson joke, and she was like, "Yo, wow."
I remember.
When he said that, I was like, "Well, we had a good run." Let me go open up resume.pdf and start sending it around again.
Listen,
Monster.com.
Login. Desus 08. Oh, man.
Think about like your last year. What was my last good year? 07.
And I love that also with the other episode that I really loved was the Larry Wilmore episode from I think what was that, last week?
Yeah.
That one was fantastic. I loved that one. That was great to hear him.
That was a dope episode, man. I'm just mad that they cut out the part where we shot the Samantha Bee hat off his head. It was a fun part. It was a fun part of the show. Nah, Larry's dope, man. Like that's another guy who's been in the industry for a long time and gave us a lot of knowledge, a lot of game about, you know, basically entertainment. You know what I mean? And like working and running in these circles or whatever. And it's dope to have guests like that because they really, like you said, we're new to this. You know what I mean? And we're always open to like listen to like the more experienced people, especially like Black people, people of color who have gone through similar experiences. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, that's somebody that you can look up to and say, you know what I mean? Like this could be me in the future, or you know, if I avoid these, don't make these missteps or whatever. People just give you knowledge. You know what I mean about stuff.
The funny thing about Larry Wilmore, we were all under Viacom, but we were working for a different channel, and I guess they were coming up with the idea for the Larry Wilmore show, and some EPs were just walking through the building. They saw, and we were getting paid to just sit in a room because they couldn't figure out what to do with it. Because it was like, you curse too much and you keep making New York references, and it's never going to work on TV. So I was like, all right, fine, whatever. And the EP walked through, and they heard us laughing. They was like, you two are really funny. You guys should work on this new project we have. And we were like, oh, he was like, it's the Larry Wilmore show, whatever. It was like, sure, we're down. And then the lawyer was like, no, you're only signed to this channel, so you can't work on that. Oh. So in a different universe, who knows what could have happened? Yeah. And Larry knows that. So every time we talk to him, he's like, God damn it. God damn it. You could have been my little sons. I could have been the son. I could have been the little son on Blackish. Daddy, the house gonna be over today.
Yo, speaking of that, and like speaking of Blackish, like Anthony Anderson now is like hitting us up, like, yeah, what's up? Like, it's bizarre, it's nuts.
That's another thing. The guests usually, you know how guests, they just show up, they do their guest segment and leave. Guests love to come and sit in on the tapings, and it's not a studio, like it's literally just this room. So they're just there on the couch, and it's usually like if they're there, like this is the whole.
We'll give you a 360 view. I'm right back.
So the studio.
You know what I mean?
And you know, like when a guest comes, they sit on that couch, and sometimes you'll see us like looking to the right because now we're doing the jokes right to the guest. Like now we're just cracking jokes for CC Sabathia, making specific Yankee references that only he would get. Yeah. So it's like entertaining your homeboy, your homegirl.
Straight up. It's like you're in your crib and people come through and come in and out all the time. We got people Spike. Just one of the funniest moments ever was we had Rashida Jones on. She leaves. She does her interview. She hangs out with us, blah, blah, blah. She leaves. She's still hanging around the building. She's talking to Spike. She comes back in to tell us something and goes over to Desus, and it's like, hey, I forgot. And he's like, holy shit!
So you can see it's in her episode. I don't think the look on my face, you thought I would have seen a ghost. I have no idea how she was able to open that door and sneak over. Yeah. But it's Quincy Jones' daughter. She has skills. I learned it from Michael Jackson.
You know what I mean? She walked in it. But that's the type of thing that I feel like would never happen on another show. These wild, spontaneous moments, like James Vanderbeek just walked in, you know what I mean, an episode. Like just
also, I did not know his name was James Vanderbeek. I was like, Dawson! I was like, yo!
Yeah. We asked him if he knew how to cook crack. He's like, yeah, I use my grandma's recipe. It's nuts. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like this is why we need that extra. We need that Emmy slot because it's like, where else on late are you going to catch this type of stuff?
Oh my God. And that's one of my other favorite things about the show is the fact that it's just like, and you just hear the reaction of the crew, and that just for me is enough because I love hearing people laugh off camera, and I love that it's like it just brings an element of authenticity to it.
Yeah. Oh, we love because shout out to our crew because they're like family to us because it's not a big crew, so you know everybody, you can see everyone's faces. And like sometimes you'll do a joke and someone won't agree with it, and like they'll suck their teeth. Like if you make so they, you know, like they provide the balance, and that's how we know the flow and the energy of the show. And one of the things you guys probably can't pick up in back of us is the control room.
Oh, that's what I was to say. If you get one of them, then like you know you killed it because like they're extra quiet back there, but then you hear them like.
It's the sound engineers. They're not supposed to crack up, and even you'll see the cameraman just lose it, and like he'll step away from the camera to just chuckle, and then come back to like try to like zoom in on the shot. So that's a big part of the show because we learned that. Remember Talk Soup?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
The way the background, you could tell Aisha Taylor and all the writers, they would be in the background. It was just a green screen, but just you'd love hearing them crack up. So we want the same kind of, you know, we don't want the canned laughter.
Yeah,
like,
that's lame.
No, that's lame.
Because we've done other shows where they do those like laughing breaks, and it's like, all right,
laugh hard
on 3, laugh hard, like you heard something super super funny. Okay, on 3, laugh kind of like you heard something kind of funny, but not too funny, but just kind of funny. And they have like these different levels, and they're getting this fake applause with the audience. It's whack.
And then when you don't work in TV, you don't pay enough attention to realize the laughter is not matching up with like the people's mouths on TV and they're like cutting around audience members. No one's laughing at this stuff.
They start roaring before the punchline even comes in.
Like, the punchline's not that funny. They're like, and I'm like, what? What is she laughing at?
It's like Jeff Foxworthy didn't even finish that redneck joke.
You might be.
A TV's on top of a TV.
He knows us.
Gun rack with a gun rack on it. Oh my!
Stuff.
So I'm wondering, you've had a span of guests on that range from, entertainment, political or politically minded, people like Rachel Maddow and Melissa Harris Perry. Oh my God, she is so great on your show. Just have her as like a weekly sidekick or something.
Just have her or Chris Hayes just sitting around, just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yes.
Spitting bombs. It's just Viceland after all.
Again, that I would pay to see. I'm just wondering, is there a guest overall that is like for you that's like kind of like a white whale, like that it's the ultimate get for you?
Barry. Barack Obama, post-presidency, loosened up, 2 buttons unbuttoned, maybe some sandals on, maybe the toes are showing. You know what I mean? He just came back from the Cayman Islands or something. He's feeling a little spicy. He might have some, sideways, comments for Trumpito. You know what I mean?
You know what? Last week I would have said Barry. Now I want to say James Comey.
James Comey.
I want to get him nice and high right before the testimony on Thursday. Hang out with him. I'll be like, yo.
Oh my God. The idea of him going on your show, like after the testimony to like cool down and then just like blaze up. Oh man, that would be awesome.
You're right.
I'm chilling, bro. I just took a couple Zans. I'm just snitched on Trump.
I was like, yo, they had you in depression, my guy.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm just out here.
More like James Cooley.
You know what I mean? James, y'all know me, Comey.
You know what it is. What do you want your rainbow for? That's not fake news.
Holla.
You're a mother.
Like FBI saying about sneakers.
So and now, as an interesting addendum, now I'm wondering if there's a guest you would want from the Trump administration. If you could get someone from the Trump administration, who would you want to interview?
Oh, the big dog. Either Donald Trump, if not Sean Spicer or Kellyanne, Donald Trump himself. I think an interview with us and Donald Trump would be incredible. Yeah. Like, because I feel like if we would just keep buying into what he was saying, and like he would just keep, if we just start off, we'd be like, how does it feel to be the president who had the most popular and most widely attended inauguration of all time?
Yeah, if you start right there, I feel like you're getting access to
all we have to see is Donald Trump like sit back like, well,
let me tell you.
He opens his jacket, rolls down the tie, like hits the floor.
The tie is his own red carpet to enter in on.
You guys are not fake news. Thank you for noticing.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Mm-hmm. He uses the type of glider to glide out after the interview.
Like a flying squirrel.
Like, yo, peace.
His hair is like.
Oh man, I would love to see that, and I would just love, because I think you guys would also, you would be afraid to hit back at certain points. You would just wait for the perfect moment and then strike.
Yeah. I feel like Trump is the kind of guy who's kind of like, you can lead him around like a horse with a carrot on a stick. Like, just like, yo, we're going to take this interview exactly where we want it to go by talking you in circles. You know what I mean?
Another interview I would love to see, instead of Megyn Kelly, they should have had us interview Vladimir Putin, even though we'd both be dead right now.
Yeah, we definitely with like a high radioactivity levels.
I don't know about dead. Manual labor camp, maybe.
Yes. Just Vice never hears from us again.
But then we have tribute specials. Hey, remember that show on Viceland that we all liked?
I'm sending SOS messages on Tetris bricks.
Hey, out here in the Crimean Sea.
We're in the gulag. I can't get Uber service out here. Somebody,
please. All I have is Juno.
Your LinkedIn profile goes from talk show host to breaker of rocks.
Yes.
You start talking like with, I break rocks. I used to do late night show. Yeah. Now I break rock with face.
Shout out. We're still recording the show just in the gulag. Are you using a potato as the camera?
Today, as our guest, we have this bottle of vodka. Yeah. It is made out of our urine.
So, for those who may not know, I guess that weed is a bit of a part of what you guys enjoy, which is cool and awesome. But every now and then I always see someone and I'm always just wish I could go up to them and go, relax, smoke this.
Right.
Yeah.
For you, who is that person?
And he's a smoker, relax. Jeff Sessions.
Yeah.
Jeff Sessions, listen, I understand someone put a curse on him as a child to make him look like an old man. He's a little angry Keebler elf. He just needs to chief a little, like he hates weed, he hates Dominicans.
Yeah. I feel like, and it's funny because I'm like, I feel like if you smoke some weed and then I took you to a Dominican restaurant where all the waitresses were wearing spandex, I would change, your mind would be instantly changed.
Yeah, Jeff Sessions.
Come on, Jeff.
And the food would be great.
The food would be amazing.
And then the alternate irony is his last name, Sessions.
Come on.
Sessions.
A little Sesh, bro.
It's a little,
come on,
bro.
bro.
A little on the nose, Jeff.
Yo, Jay Sesh? Come on, man.
He's mad that he ended up Attorney General instead of a rapper.
Come on.
Because I would definitely download
Jay Sesh.
A track of DJ Khaled, Drake, and Jay Sesh.
Jay Sesh.
That's song of the summer right there.
Smoking Volume 1.
Jeff Sessions comes out, got the chains on him, like, yeah. You know he's smoking loud. 666.
Yo.
Jeff Sessions needs an OVO owl tattoo on his neck.
Smoking marijuana doesn't make you a good person. It makes you a great person.
Right.
Look at my Maserati.
Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me.
Hey. Lambo
Jay
got
Sesh.
suicide doors, dog. Dab on him. Dab on him.
Dab on him, Jay Sesh.
Oh. Now I do what I want.
So I guess to tie up everything here, we are an awards website, and if you guys compete at the Emmys, you would have to choose an episode that you feel is the best episode of what you've produced. Which episode would that be for you guys?
Oh man,
the best episode. That's interesting because they've all been good.
Yeah, no, honestly, I feel like we leave here every day confidently knowing that the episode that's going to come out that night is going to be hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I feel like that's a given. I feel like I remember the episodes. I don't know about you, but like I remember the episodes by the guest.
Right.
You know what I mean? More so than by like the stories that we cover.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Whoopi. I really liked Rachel Maddow.
Chris Hayes. Michael
great.
Arsenault.
Yeah, shout out to Michael Arsenault.
Oh
man, this
Melissa Harris Perry.
Yeah, like you said, Melissa Harris Perry was great.
Larry Wilmore,
Yeah.
Immortal Technique.
Yeah.
They all are different. Some are like really good for the history they contain
Right.
or the gravitas of the guests. Some were really good just for our chemistry or just because we put the guests in a different light. But I really like the Whoopi one because that was like, here's a really big celebrity coming down to our level, but not in a way that made it feel like, yo, this is
I'm doing you a favor.
Right.
Yeah, like
she wasn't pandering,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem like some booking agency forced her to go on. She wasn't coming on to promote a book. Like, she wanted to be on the show, and I feel like that came across the whole interview.
Yeah.
So,
that was fun. And the Whoopi one was great. And the extended, I mean, it was just a dope day all around, man. Because she stuck around after, and she talked to us, and she talked to the crew and stuff, and it felt like like an arrival type of moment. Like, yo, we're like, now we're here. You know what I mean? And then with all the Emmy talk too, you know.
Also, the Rick Ross episode was good because we got free liquor.
True.
Who the hell obnoxious is that? Who rolls up with bottles?
He brought rum and champagne. You know what I'm saying? I'm
You
like,
brought both?
Yeah, both. I'm like, did you bring a Riesling too, my guy?
He just slid me up real low as he was going out. He's like, yo.
It's a nice smell back.
I'm gonna have to make a note of that to try to interview him in person. Maybe he'll bring me a bottle of Jägermeister.
Oh man.
Well,
yes,
he came with several posters of himself,
which I was not mad at, and they were printed on high quality
glossy paper.
So nice.
Yeah, and vinyl copies of his album. This guy came prepared.
He is a walking swag bag.
Yeah.
If you're not promoting yourself the way he is,
you're not doing it
right. He needs to teach seminars about that.
Seriously.
It's like, you go down to like, a New York City night school, and all of a sudden there's branding with Professor Rick Ross.
Professor Ross and Catherine Gibbs.
Oh.
Catherine Gibbs, school of Boston.
Well, Desus and Mero, I cannot thank you enough for all of this. Best of luck to your show during Emmy season and throughout the rest of the year, because it is fantastic. Everyone should watch it. It's on Viceland weeknights at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Yep.
11 o'clock. 11:30
o'clock.
in New Zealand. I throwing that out there as a strong flex that we're in New Zealand.
They only just got electricity, so they're still getting used to
That's
it.
awesome.
We got 4 koalas down there that watch it religiously. So shout
Religiously.
out to them.
You know what I mean? And we're going down there to find that ring.
I want to see videos of that because that'd be adorable. Koalas operating television. All right, thanks so much, guys.
Having a
Thank
time, man.
you. Peace. Yo, vote for us.
27 rings, bro.
Holla.